Hello everyone, Average Adam here, going through the new Blackrock Mountain Cards. So I was going to do these as they came out, but they came out kind of sporadically, and they did like the whole last half in one day. So we're just going to go on, now they're all out, we're going to talk about them and discuss which ones are good, which ones are bad, all that cool stuff. So let's go through and get right into it. So first off, we're going to start off with the commons here, the common neutrals. We got the Blackwing Corruptor. So what this guy is 5 cost for a 5/4. If you are holding a dragon, deal 3 damage. Now it's essentially a smaller version of a flame element or a fire elemental, but it's neutral, so anyone can use it. A new theme in this new set is dragons. So a new idea that they have is when you're holding a dragon, you get a bonus effect, similar to a combo, but you have to have a dragon in your hand. Now it's a tell for your opponent because it tells them you have a dragon in your hand, but they don't know what it is. So I actually kind of like these. And this one right here, pretty nice neutral card. It'll go in probably all the decks that run dragons. And we'll get to which ones those will probably be in a little bit here. So Blackwing Corruptor, it's pretty good. Alright, so next we're going to go with the Blackwing Technician. Another if you're holding a dragon. Technician, not Tactician. But yeah, she's pretty good. 3 cost for a 2/4, which is, you know, average stats. But if you're holding a dragon, +1/+1, it becomes 3 cost for a 3/5, which is awesome. So she definitely, every dragon deck, she's going in there and she's going to be used. Alright, so next we got the Dragonkin Sorcerer. So what is this guy? This guy, 4 cost for a 3/5, average stats, but whenever you target this minion with a spell, get +1/+1. Now, classes with really cheap spell cards, like the mech spare parts are going to make this card absolutely amazing. It'll be in spare parts decks. I can see people trying to make Paladin Secret come back with this. Priests have a lot of good 1-cost spells. I can actually see this card being used in quite a few different decks, not just dragons, but in other decks also. I'm sure we'll see a lot of play out of this guy, and it'll be interesting to see what kind of decks are made around him. Alright, so next we have the Draconoid Crusher. So the Draconoid Crusher is essentially battle cry. If your opponent has less than 15 health, get +3/+3. That's 6 cost for a 9/9, similar to the Animal Golem that the Warlock has. But only works if your opponent is under half health, which I don't know where this will fit exactly. I mean, it's a nice card. It is. It's a dragon, so it gets dragon bonuses. And dragon bonuses isn't really bonuses. It's just you get bonuses for having a dragon in your deck for other dragon-related cards. So pretty awesome card, I think, for rush decks. Rush decks that kind of run dragons-ish. They don't even have to run dragons for this, actually, but he's pretty awesome. And 9/9 is really hard to deal with. Yes, it dies to Big Game Hunter, but it's a nice threat for 6 mana. I mean, you can't really go wrong with it. It's a decent card. Not the best of the ones, but pretty good. Okay, one of the best ones. Here's a dragon. A really good dragon. The Hungry Dragon. 4 cost for a 5/6. Okay, that's legendary, right? No. Battlecry, summon a random 1-cost minion for your opponent. Okay, so that makes it a little more balanced, but honestly, it's one of those random cards, so we never know what... You can give your opponent a Zombie Chow, you can give them an Undertaker, you can give them a Leper Gnome. You never really know what you're going to give them for this, but its stats are just so good that I can see a lot of dragon decks running this. All the dragon decks. This will be a dragon deck staple, and they're all going to run it. It's going to be so freaking good. Alright, so next we got the Volcanic Drake. So Volcanic Drake is 6 cost for a 6/4. Pretty bad stats, but cost 1 less for each minion that died this turn. So this is another new effect that this set has, is for every minion that died, the cost goes down for the card. And I actually kind of like this, and it's usually only good if you already have a field, your opponent has a field, and you can do a trade before this. So base case scenario, you trade one of your minions, 2 minions die, you get 2 cost off this, it becomes 4 cost for a 6/4, which is amazing. Most of the cards that have this in their name, it kind of encourages good trading, because once you do one decent trade and get 2 mana off the card, it pretty much gets its value at that point, and it only goes up from there. So cards like this are going to be very scary in the new meta, which I'm actually pretty excited about. The meta needs shifting and it needs to be changed up, and this will do it pretty well. Mech has been a little overpowered for a little bit too long. So next we're going to go with a rare card, dragon egg, very similar to the Nerubian egg. This one is a little different though. 1 cost, not 2 cost, for a 0/2. Whenever it takes damage though, you summon a 2/1 whelp. So you can actually potentially get multiple whelps out of this. You can buff it with priest cards. You can interfire it with a warrior. There's a lot of different things you could do with this, and the whelp is a 2/1 dragon, so that's more dragon synergy. But yeah, I gotta say this guy, I don't know if it's gonna be as useful as the Nerubian egg, but it has potential. It has a lot of potential. Alright, so next we got the Grim Patron. This one was revealed pretty early, and it'll probably be the first fight. You'll probably get it out of the first fight we see in Blackrock Depths, which will be week 1. Grim Patron, 5 cost for a 3/3. You're going to be like, what? That's not good. But whenever he survives damage, summon another Grim Patron. So, Grim Patron on the field, Interfire, 2 Grim Patrons on the field, Whirlwind, 4 Grim Patrons on the field. You get the picture. They keep coming and they keep coming. So, essentially, if you have a deck that's built around this, I think he can be good. But he dies to Flame Strikes, he dies to Hellfires, he dies to good AoE board clear. So maybe not the best, but he would be difficult to remove if someone doesn't have a direct way to kill him without damaging him. So it's very interesting. It's another one of those weird cards that might throw off your opponent just a little bit. So, alright, so now we're getting into the Legendaries. So I actually went through the Legendaries, and it's pretty obvious to tell which ones are going to come out each week. The first one is Blackrock Depths, which, as you guys know from the game, is Dwarf related. So here is the first Legendary, and I absolutely love this one. This is Emperor Thracian. Now, 6 cost for a 5/5, but at the end of your turn, reduce the cost of cards in your hand by 1. That's all cards in your hand, and it happens over the course of the game. So it's better than a battle cry. Well, not better than a battle cry, but it's like a battle cry-ish. You're going to get that value right away when you use it. So you're going to use it, lower the cost of all the cards in your hand by 1. We are going to see this in so many different decks. I think Druid ramp decks are going to use it to help get their Force Roars out. This card is going to be something very, very special. I mean, it's going to be used a lot. We're going to see, I think we're going to be seeing just as much of it as we do Dr. Boom, to be honest. I mean, ramping mana up, that's just going to be absolutely amazing. I love this card, and I can't wait to play with it. And it comes out next week, so we get to use it next week. That's going to be so cool. Alright, so next we got the Week 2 boss. Week 2 is Molten Core. So, Molten Core, here's what we got. We got Majordomo Executus. So Majordomo was from Molten Core, and 9 costs for 9/7. Death Rattle. Replace your hero with Ragnaros the Fire Lord. This was confirmed today that it actually turns it into Ragnaros. Only 8 health, can't go any higher, but you do get a 2-cost ability to do his 8 cost or his 8 damage random ability, which is absolutely awesome. Die Insect, 2 mana. So this is a Death Rattle. So essentially you'll play this and your opponent can kill it pretty easily, actually. Shadow or Death or anything will kill it, but on your next turn you will have a 2-cost Ragnaros ability that you can use. Now, the only issue I see with this is you're only going to have 8 health. It's going to be pretty weak. There's only 2 types of decks I think this is going to go good in. 1, warrior decks that run a lot of armor, and 2, mage freeze decks, essentially, because they can keep themselves alive with ice blocks and stuff if they have this up, prior. So, honestly, I think this guy will actually be pretty good, but only in those decks. I don't really see another deck it could fit in, but it's a neutral that changes your hero, which, pretty awesome, right? I mean, I'm okay with it. It's pretty cool. I'm always up for more interesting value and stuff. So the next week will be Blackwing Spire. So what this one is, it's kind of the Orc raid. So all the Blackrock, or the black, whatever they are, orcs. I can't even remember right now. My brain's like fried today. But this guy's probably the weakest of the new legendaries. In fact, actually, yeah, he is the weakest of the new legendaries. 7 cost for an 8/4. If you're holding a dragon, destroy a legendary minion. If his stats weren't so bad, I think he would see more use. But legendary minions aren't played that much, honestly. The most legendaries you'll see right now are like Dr. Boom and Alex Straza sometimes. There's not a lot of legendaries that actually get played. Most people are just running, kind of cheap cards. But it is a destroy if you're holding a dragon. Dragon decks might toy around with this to see if it fits, but honestly, I don't think it's going to fit that well. It might, it might, but I don't honestly think it's going to get that much play. Alright, so then week 4 is going to be Blackwing Lair. Normally that'd be Nefarian as the boss for those of you that played World of Warcraft, but they took Chromagus out of here. So Chromagus is a pretty awesome guy. If I can get him bigger there we go. Chromagus, 8 cost for a 6/8 dragon. Whenever you draw a card, put another copy of it into your hand. Okay, so this guy is a double-edged sword. Yes, he'll give you 2 copies of every card you draw, which can be very, very broken. Okay, he makes him one of the better ones, but remember not to let your hand run up too much, because this guy can very quickly flood your hand and cause you to burn cards. But you're already getting value from having multiple cards that you should not have an extra copy of. So, honestly, I like this guy. I think he'll see just a lot of play. But you gotta be careful with him. Be very careful with Chromagus. You don't want to F yourself in the B. So, yeah, he's a pretty cool guy. I like him. Alright, and then finally, the final boss for this expansion in the Hidden Laboratory, none other than Nefarian. Nefarian, awesome black dragon. We absolutely love him. So what Nefarian is 9 cost for an 8/8 dragon. He's an average dragon, but Battlecry, add 2 random spells from your opponent's class into your hand. So if it's a priest, you'll get 2 random priest cards. It's like a Thought Steal, but it doesn't pull from your opponent's deck. It pulls from their class. So even cards they don't have. Now you can get good cards out of this. You can get Holy Novas. You can get Consecrations. You can get really anything. And it's spells only, but still. 2 random spells. It's got that random aspect. You could get really crap ones. I mean, it's completely possible you can end up with a Blade Flurry and you don't have a weapon. You can end up with a Deadly Poison, not have a weapon. There's a lot of bad cards you could pull from this, but there are a lot of interesting possibilities for this. This is what Nefarian does. He steals spells from others' classes, and honestly, he transfers well into a card here, and I think that he will see some play, quite a bit of play, actually. So, but only time will tell which one of these will end up really, really good. So, now we're going to go on to the class cards real quick. So the class cards, they did something different this time. There's 2 class cards per class. One of them is just unlocked through doing bosses like normal, and the other one is through class challenges. So we're going to go through each class cards here, and we're going to start with the Druid. So first we got the Druid of the Flame. So it's another one of those Druid, you get 2 choice kind of cards. This one is 3 costs for a 2/2, choose one, it either becomes a 5/2 or a 2/5, making it a very, very good, for its 3 mana. So I don't think people are going to change it into the 3/5, or the 5/2 a lot, but the 2/5 will be really good for trading. For 3 cost, not that bad. Maybe the 5/2 will be used if you buff it with something like a Mark of a Wild, or something that'll give it a health boost. Then I could see it actually becoming kind of a threat, because a 5/2 for 3, and then play 2 more mana, and it ends up being a 7/4 for 5, that's not bad. It's not bad, but we'll see if it gets a lot of use. So the other Druid card is going to be Volcanic Lumberer. Druids actually got 2 class cards here, and if I can get these bigger there we go. So the Volcanic Lumberer is pretty awesome. 9 cost for 7/8, another one of those if your minions died. So 7/8 taunt for 9, costs 1 less for each minion that died this turn. So essentially after 2 minions die, it becomes 7 cost for a 7/8 taunt, which is really, really good. So once again, if 2 minions die, if you trade 2 minions, one of your opponents and yours, before this guy comes out, or after this guy comes out, but you play him. Well, no, you don't play him. You trade the guys, then you play him. He comes out at 7, and he's automatically good. And remember, he can be even cheaper than that if you did more trades beforehand. So, not that bad at all. He's actually really, really awesome, especially if you're able to get out of Innervate Force of Roar. Force of Nature. And you end up with, you paid 4 mana for a Force of Nature, you trade all those trees in, say they killed 3 things or 6 things, you end up paying this 3 cost for this guy, which is just insane value right there. So he eventually can get some good value. So all in all, Druids didn't get any cool dragon cards, but I think they got at least one card that's really good. This one we'll have to wait and see, but all in all, Druids got interesting minions. So Druids were kind of lacking a lot of minions. So now we go to Hunter. New Hunter spell. We have the Quick Shot. Let's make Burst Hunters even better. So 2 shot, 3 damage. Already it's better than a Dark Bomb. But if your hand's empty, you get to draw a card. Whoa, draw for Hunters. That is so So awesome. So they're going to be dumping their hand and playing this and drawing more cards and dumping more hand. It's going to be a really good hunter card. Hunters, they're going to be painful again. Alright, so then they got a rare card is a beast. 4 cost for a 4/4 Core Rager. So Core Rager is pretty awesome if I can get him to grow a little bit here. There we go. 4 cost for a 4/4, but if your hand is empty, get +3/+3. Okay, let's keep encouraging hunters to dump their hand and play really rushy decks. That's whatever. Okay, so you paid 4 cost for a 7/7. Oh. Now, here's the thing. I have a Beastmaster Hunter deck. It's a lot of fun. I haven't shared the details of it, but I will do a video of it eventually. And this guy will use in it. Definitely will use in it. But, oh, is it good? I think it'll fit in that very well. But otherwise, we're encouraging hunters to be rushy. And I don't like rushy hunters, but they are going to get a lot of love from these guys. Quite a bit. No dragons, but still. Mages. Mages got 2 of the best cards I've seen in a long time. Dragon's Breath. 4 cost, 1 -1, or 5 cost, 4 damage, -1 for each minion that died this turn. Oh my god. So, essentially 3 cost for 4 damage if 2 minions traded before. More damaging spells for mages. Oh my gosh. Mages, you have enough damaging spells. Why do we need to keep giving you more? Mages, mages, mages. I actually like Dragon's Breath. I liked Fire Mage back in World of Warcraft, and that was one of my favorite spells. It's stunned before, but I guess that's the best they can get at transfer. Not bad. It fits the theme, I guess. Alright, so now the Flame Walker. This is a new minion that they got. Very, very good, and it also goes well with that minion earlier that had to do with 1 mana spells. 3 cost for a 2/4. After you cast a spell, deal 2 damage randomly split among all enemies. Okay, so that's really awesome. So it's like a smaller version of a... Oh my god, I can't remember what the card was. I'll remember it eventually. But yeah, it's... You can go great in 1 mana spell decks. It will... I think Spare Parts Mage will definitely be a thing. And they'll use this. And it will be absolutely amazing. It works well with mirror images. It is just... Oh my god. Mage's got 2 really, really good cards. I think they probably got 2 of the best cards in this set as far as class cards go. So mages, you will be just as powerful as you were before, if not more, especially with Ragnaros. Oh, I don't even know what to say to that. I really don't. Alright, going on to Paladin. We finally got to know what the Paladin cards were today. Paladin were lacking draw, so they gave them a draw card. 5 cost to draw 2 cards. Okay, but it's got that -1 cost for each minion that died. Trade a couple minions. You already make 1/1s for every turn. You know, you got your minion Silverhand Recruit Factory. Trade some of those. Get a really cheap 2-draw. What's not to love? Paladin needed a good source of draw that's not Blessing of Wisdom or Lay on Hands, and they got it. So, I think it's a good Paladin card. And then the other one they got is a dragon. They're one of only 2 classes that got an actual dragon in their set. So this one is Dragon Consort. If I can actually fix my sizing here, I'm kind of goofing up on that. There we go. Dragon Consort. 5 cost, 5/5 dragon. The next dragon you play costs 2 less. Okay, Paladin is the dragon class, and they are going to be the best at it because that effect can actually carry over between turns. It was actually confirmed that it carries over between turns. So, you play this dragon, and you can get out one of those awesome 9-cost dragons for 7 mana. Wow. That is the coolest thing. And if you save the coin, it's 6 mana for one of those really big dragons. An Alexstrasza, a Nefarian. It could be... Oh my gosh. The Paladins, you guys got the dragons, and people are going to be running you like mad. Which is good, because Paladin's been pretty stale lately, and I'm glad they're getting something that's going to help them out immensely and make them into dragon decks. So Paladins, you got 2 wins here. Congratulations. Take them and dominate on the ladder. I will probably be playing around with them, seeing how I can do with them too. Priest got the only other dragon card. I don't really know why this is a priest card, but okay. It's a dragon whelp. So what dragon whelp is it is a 1 cost 2/1 if you're holding a dragon plus 2 health. So it's a zombie chow that's also a dragon. Not bad. I think it's actually really good. I think priests are going to be running this, and dragon priests will be second only to the paladins. because Paladin's got the Dragon Consort, which is just amazing for dragons. So Priests will be definitely trying to out dragons, seeing how they work. I think they'll be okay because they got a couple interesting, you know, they can power word shield on that one guy. Where's that guy at? Power word shield on this guy, the Dragonkin Sorcerer. So there's actually going to be some decent dragon synergy with Priest also. So yeah, I think Priest will be decent with dragon with this guy. Though I don't know why all the classes didn't get dragons. Only 2 of them did. So, no. The other Priest card is also really good. Resurrect. Now, Resurrect is an amazing card. 2 cost, summon a random friendly minion that died this game. So, any minion that happened to die earlier on in the game. So, essentially, the game's going to be keeping track of which minions died during the game on your side, and it will summon one of them. This could be potentially broken. Like, 2 cost for a reincarnate that brings back something that died a long time ago. That's something that was out of the game entirely. Now it's random, so it's one of those things that is going to be random, but it could be really good, but we don't know. So we'll see how good this goes, but I think we'll see some pretty funny plays with this. Priest, you got 2 wins. Good job. These cards will make you much better than you were before. And finally, the last... No, we got a few more. We're not done yet. We got 3 more classes to go through. 4 more classes. Wow, it's been a long day. So, Rogue, first card, Gang Up. Choose a minion, shuffle 3 copies of it into your deck. Hells to the... Yeah, that's an amazing card. 2 cost to give you 3 more copies of a minion? Are you kidding me? That is, like, better than a duplicate, because you get to choose it. You get to choose the minion you duplicate. Now, mind you, it puts them in your deck, so unless you're running a lot of draw, you may not see those minions again. That's... Oof. This card could potentially bring out some new rogue play that we haven't ever seen before. No more Miracle, no more pulling off stupid oil rogue or really, really big miracles with Gadgets and Auctioneer. This could be a new rogue meta here, and I'm excited for it. Let's see some new rogue play, shall we? The other card was announced a while back, and everyone pretty much already knows about it, but it's the Dark Iron Skulker. 5 cost for a 4/3, but it's got a built-in battle cry, backstab all undamaged enemy minions. Yeah, so essentially it's a consecrate, but it doesn't hit things that have been hurt. Not a bad card, actually. You can actually take out the backstabs of your deck and play this guy instead. It doesn't need a combo. You just play it, and it will do 2 damage to everything on the field as long as they're not damaged. It's not a bad card. Not bad at all, especially considering if you're running into a lot of decks that are running a lot of small minions, this will take a nice chunk out of all of them, which is pretty awesome. So this guy definitely... Rogues, you got 2 wins. Good for you. Enjoy them as we cry in fear to your new power. Next, we got the Shaman. I'm actually going to do the Shaman Rare first, because this one's kind of important. This is going to open up a whole new avenue for Shaman. I've loved Shaman for a long time, but unfortunately, they've been lacking on good cards. They have all these Overload cards that just aren't used, because the Overload, you sacrifice so much for it. But now with this card, 2 cost 2 damage, okay, but unlock your Overloaded Mana Crystals. This will unlock any crystals you had locked for this turn, or have locked for next turn. So, essentially, the way you would play this is, let's play a 5 cost Earth Elemental. Overload our mana for 3 next turn, okay? Next turn, we're going to play another 5 cost Earth Elemental, which overloads 3 mana for next turn. Now, I have 6 unloaded crystals. 3 for this turn and 3 for next turn. So I'm going to play Lava Shock, and I'm going to go and unlock all 6 of those mana, essentially giving me 2 damage, 1 more unlocked mana for this turn, and my Earth Elemental had no drawback for next turn. Too freaking good. This is going to open up so much Overload Shaman. You'll be able to use the Overload Elemental that they got. It's going to be absolutely amazing, and I'm going to love Shaman having Overload sets. This is going to be beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. New kind of Shaman play. No Murlocs, no creepy, what was it, Death Rattle decks with Sylvanas and Reincarnate, and no more of that. I want to see some cool stuff. So this is going to be a new Shaman meta that they really need. Speaking of Overload, here's a new Elemental card for Shaman. Fire Guard Destroyer. 4 cost for a 3/6 Battle Cry. Gain 1 to 4 attack. Overload 1. Okay, this is pretty cool. It goes good with this guy, so it'll be put in all Overload decks. But already, that's 4 cost for a 4/6 guaranteed. It'll overload you for 1, but that already is amazing stats. Now it can go as high as a 7/6 though, for 4 mana, with 1 overload. If you use this, there's no drawback to it. This guy is amazing. I think they should have actually switched the rarity on these two guys, because this guy is badass, and I am so excited. Shaman, you got 2 great new toys. Enjoy your new types of decks. They are going to rock. Alright. So now we're down to the last 2 cards, and these are the Warlock Cards. So, once again, we're encouraging demons. I am glad we're encouraging demons because I'm sick of seeing Warlocks run Zoo and Handlock. Especially Handlock, which will never disappear because they're not ever going to nerf it. This guy, 3 costs for a 2/4 Imp Gang Boss. It's a demon. Whenever this minion takes damage, summon a 1/1 Imp. I like it. Means you're guaranteed, well, not guaranteed, but 3 costs for a 2/4, which will almost always pop out a 1/1 Imp. So you pay 3 costs for 2/4 and a 1/1. Not bad. But you could potentially get a lot more out of it if he's able to get a couple trades in. So more imps, lots and lots of imps. Let's give Warlocks more ways to make their imps awesome. I love it. I love it, I love it, I love it. So, yeah. Make imp decks, guys. Imp decks will rule. Alright, so next we got the last card. Actually, no, we have Warrior after this. Sorry, we're not done yet. We're going to keep going. We got the Demon Wrath. Okay, this one I'm not too sure about. 3 cost, deal 2 damage to all non-demon minions. So, it'll go in demon decks for sure, because it won't kill demons. Essentially, it is a smaller Hellfire that will not hurt any characters or your own minions if they're demons. I think it's okay. It fills a niche that Warlocks did not have. They had, as far as AoE board clear, they have Twisted Nether, which we'll never see play because it's just too high cost. They have Hellfire, which is ridiculous. You know, it kills everything on the field and does damage to yourself and the enemy for the same cost as this one. And then for 4 mana, they have the Sacrifice of Minion, whatever it is, and it blows up or I can't remember what the card's called right now. My brain has been frazzled today, guys. But they have the 4 cost, Sacrifice a Minion, Destroy, dual damage equal to its entire health, which I think is still superior to this one, but maybe demons will run one of these just to kind of try it. Because 2 damage board clear isn't that bad. I mean, it's not bad at all. I think this card might see play, but I don't put it near as strong. It doesn't have as many opportunities to be useful. It's only useful in a specific kind of Warlock deck, which is demons, and they're giving Warlocks more abilities with demons. So, we'll see if it works. I don't know if it will, but it might. And then now we're finally on to the last class, the Warrior. Starting off with the Warrior common card, we got the Axe Flinger. We'll probably see this week because it looks like a dwarf, and the first week is all about Dark Iron Dwarves. So, 4 costs for a 2/5. Whenever this minion takes damage, deal 2 damage to the enemy hero. Yeah, so you got a 4 cost 2/5 that has built-in leper gnomes that can fire repeatedly. Essentially, you play him, you interfire him, you whirlwind him, you just did like 6 damage to... Well, you did 4 damage to the enemy hero and summoned a 2/5, which is a little weaker now, but oh my god. This guy could actually be really, really scary because it does direct damage to the hero. Rush Warrior will be a thing with this, I think. Very, very scary. It's not to anything. It's not to damage to anything. It hits just the heroes. So, honestly, I think this card will see a lot of play. As far as Warriors, it will give Warriors a new mix of things to play with and new types of decks to make that aren't just Control Warrior or Weapon Warrior. I think this could be actually really cool. So, Axe Flinger, thumbs up. And finally, the last card we have to reveal here, the 31st card that we've revealed for Blackrock Mountain is going to be the Revenge card. So what Revenge is it is 2 cost for a Whirlwind, essentially. But if you have less than 12 health, it's a 3 damage Whirlwind. Now, one thing Warriors have been lacking is direct board clear. They have Brawl, which is 5 mana, which is pretty damn expensive, actually. 5 mana for a board clear that still leaves 1 up, and it could be a bad one. But this is 2 mana, which is only really good if you're at low health, so it kind of synergizes with Mortal Strike and stuff. But I think this one is going to see some play. You save it for later in the game. 3 mana to everything is, it could be potentially really good. It's his own version of Hellfire that doesn't hit heroes, but it's for 2 mana. So Warriors, I think, will definitely play around with this and see if it works. I don't know if it will or not, but it definitely could. It definitely could. So, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to say what my top picks for the top 3 cards that I think we're going to get out of this. The first one, my top pick, I believe, I'm not going to put these in any order, is going to be the Emperor. Emperor is going to be such an amazing card. This guy is going to be so badass and used in a lot of decks. I mean, he is just amazing. I love him. He's absolutely awesome. Number 2 is going to be, of course, the Dragon Consort. This guy is going to make Dragon decks a real thing. This is the best Dragon card to come out that's not, you know, one of the Legendaries, but this is going to make Paladins so freaking awesome, and there is really nothing else I can say about it. It's just too freaking good. It's going to be absolutely amazing, and I am scared to death out of it. So scared to death. So, and then for my number 3 pick, this one's kind of a toss-up. I was going to go with either Chromagus or Nefarian, but I was going to take Chromagus just because he's cheaper. He's 1 mana cheaper, stats are weaker, but you can also get 2 copy, or whenever you draw a card, get another copy. This is going to make Warlocks really good, but Chromagus is absolutely awesome. You know, special, you know, mentioned to Nefarian, he's pretty good too, but honestly, Chromagus, these 3 guys right here are going to be the best cards in this set, without a doubt. I mean, just for me, by the way. If you guys think differently, let me know in the comments below. Let's discuss these cards, talk about whether they're overpowered, whether they're weak. Let me know. I want to know. So, thank you all for watching, guys. Subscribe if you like the content. Guys that have been following me for a while, I apologize that I have not done any Hearthstone content in a long time. I've been really busy lately. I'm trying to phase out my normal work life with my online life so I can actually keep things going. I have my Heroes videos that I gotta keep doing, but I promise there will be more Hearthstone in the future. That I can promise you for sure. So thank you all guys for watching. Subscribe if you like the content, and we'll see you next time. Have a good one.